Hi everyone and good evening to today's section and so happy to be here. Yeah, so this is actually the first section I'm having. Just myself and I don't have any other person here with me, just myself. Yeah. So it's actually so sorry, I have to connect my headset, my AirPods so that to be easier for me to be heard. And yeah, so sorry about that. So, like I was saying, this is actually the first section I'm having just myself on the table. And yeah, I'm going to start by actually introduce myself. No, didn't join the first bringing guests to the table. So I'm going to start by introducing myself. So my name is Shulammite John. Yeah, I know my name is actually long. I am a software developer. I am a mentor to females in web development, front end to be precise. I am a scratch educator and I love helping or including female into the the tech ecosystem. So that's basically who I am. So today we are going to talk about a very popular section or a very popular topic. If you're actually a business person, you read business articles, you listen to business podcast, and you read a lot of magazines or books on business, you should have actually come across what BHAG is or so, but before then, so what is the reason why I had to come on the table to talk about this topic? So last section, which was last week, we had two amazing speakers on the table. These speakers they spoke on how to start your business right as a business person, and also for someone who has already started up their business. So how you can actually make amends and get to that point so your business is on the right track. So I had Mr. Danesh Nagozin, who's a business expert in Nigeria. I also had Miss Lauren, who's a business expert outside Nigeria. So they spoke at length about how to start your business right. And there's no how you talk about how to start your business right. You won't have to talk about your mission and your BHAG. So today I actually had to schedule this section to have this section today where we talk about BHAG. So BHAG is actually basically for business persons, but I'm going to try as much as possible to make sure that that I talk about BHAG in a way that everybody is included. So whether you're a business person, you are an individual that is striving to be successful, I'm going to talk about BHAG so that yeah, you get to understand it from all standpoints. So that is the reason why I BHAG today. And is this the normal routine of Shula's Table Talk Show, which is twice TTS? No, it's not. We only have sections first Saturday of every month and the second to the last Saturday of every month. So this is an off section where I really wanted to talk about something that was, will I say, omitted or something that we didn't talk about in our last section, and that is BHAG. So I want to start by defining BHAG. What is BHAG? What is it? It's actually an acronym. B stands for big, H stands for hairy, A stands for audacious, and the G stands for go. So I'm going to combine them together and pronounce it. So it's always it's pronounced as your big, hairy, audacious goal. So what does it mean? What does this word mean? This word was originally used in a book by James C. Collins and Jerry I.P. In the book, the name of the book is Built to Last Success Habits of Visionary Company. That's the name of the book. So that was the first, or where the word originally spread it out from. You can actually read the book, look for the book online. I think it has an audio and also a soft copy where you can actually download and get to read about it. I actually recommend it. It's a must read for a business person. So it's a huge motivation goal that defines your vision for the future. So, like I said, I'm going to try as much as possible to make whatever I'm going to say not business oriented. I'm not going to just push it to business people. I'm going to bring it in a general term where everybody can relate to what a BHAG is. So that is why I choose this definition. It's a big motivation goal that defines your vision for the future. So everybody has a vision. I have it. Apart from, yes, I am the founder. I omitted that in my definition. So I'm the CEO and the founder of FemCode Africa. So FemCode Africa is your online tech education company that trains females, young females in Africa, and help them get employed. So we are digitally based. So our courses are digital based. Anything you talk about coding, that is FemCode Africa for you, and we are gender biased, just for females, right? So that's that. So apart from, I want to make sure that whatever I'm going to say today is going to be on the from it. So from the definition, a BHAG is a huge motivation goal that defines your vision for the future, right? So this is a general definition, whether you're a business person or you're an individual. So, and we all have visions, right? Yes, I have a vision, you have one too. So what is your vision? Where you actually hear people whenever they go on dates, they want to get to know their friends better. You kind of ask your friend, where do you see yourself in the next 2 years? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? That's actually asking or indirectly asking the person, what is your BHAG? So it is a huge motivation goal that defines your vision for the future. Please, as much as possible, or as much as this definition looks like a vision statement, it's not a vision statement. Why do I say it's not a vision statement, or how is it different from a vision statement? A vision statement is something that drives your company from when your company starts to when it's going to end. So that is a vision statement. It's always there. It's something that you keep on doing and keep on doing till the end of the existence of your company. An example of this is let me just try and see if I can crack out one vision statement. So a vision statement can be something like our vision, or for a company of XYZ, they can see our vision is to be the #1 graphics company or graphics or printing company in Africa. Do you understand now, right? See the difference. So this is a mission statement. The vision of this XYZ company is to be the #1 graphics company or the #1 printing company in Africa. So it's something that they keep on doing and get to cover the whole African country, right? So this is a vision statement. But what about the BHAG? If you remember in my definition, I said a BHAG is quantifiable and is time bound. But a vision statement is not. It's always there. And also a BHAG is or should engage people, and you will get to like it gets, how am I going to actually say this? Okay, if a BHAG should engage people. So whenever you talk to someone about your BHAG or tell someone about your BHAG, you should be like, wow, really? How are you going to do this? They want to know more about your BHAG. So that's a BHAG for you. But the mission statement is there. Yeah, everybody gets to understand. Oh, yeah, the mission is just to #1 printing press in Africa. It's okay, it's fine. If they just go ahead and start making adverts, try to cover African countries, and it's fine. But look at an example of a BHAG. My BHAG is to, please pay attention. My BHAG, sorry, is to cover 7 African countries in the next 5 years. So when I tell somebody my vision as a company, XYZ company, that is known for printing press, for printing, or that's a printing press company or the graphics company, People already know that is what I do, right? But my BHAG is now to cover 7 countries. So my XYZ company, I want it to be known in 7 countries in Africa. Wow, people be like 7 countries, like 7 countries in Africa. Are you being serious right now? You want to cover 7 companies in Africa? Wow, that is amazing. How are you going to do it in 5 years? How are you going to do it? Because each country actually has regions in it. For example, of my favorite country, I always tell people I'm from Tanzania. So Tanzania has 20 regions in it. So this is just one country, right? And every other country has. For Nigeria, it has 36 states in it. So before you leave Nigeria to go to another country, you should actually have been well known in the country you are originating from before entering another country, which already has 36 states in it. And then you move it to another country, something like Tanzania, and it already has 20 regions in it, right? So your BHAG is to cover 7 countries in Africa in the next 5 years. Wow, how are you actually going to do that? That's like a miracle. We should be able to be known in 7 countries in Africa in just 5 years. Wow, that's going to, because we all know that the first 2 years of a company is always a kind of shaky, because you're trying to get your ground, making mistakes, getting better, making mistakes, getting better. But this time around, you are combining everything to be ready in 5 years. Cover 7 countries in 5 years. That's like a miracle. So person could be like, wow, really? To get to find out for your BHAG, for example, like I always said, your mission statement is different from your BHAG, because for your BHAG, you don't know how you're going to do that. Just look at what I stated. I'm going to cover 7 African countries in the next 5 years. I didn't state how I'm going to do that. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I've already stated what I want to happen in the next 5 years. So that is a big hack for you. When I told you it's quantifiable and it's time bound, so it is something that how am I going to put it? How am I going to put it? It's something you don't know how you're going to do the magic, how you're going to box the bubble, but you know what you want to do. So in a BHAG, you know what you want to do, but you don't really know how you're going to do that. So that is it. So actually, I've tried to explain a lot about it here. So this is for ground. I don't know my way around in tech, and right, I just started. I just joined an internship or a training. Maybe I registered on Femcode Africa and I was accepted. And as an individual, I want to set a BHAG. So remember, we said a BHAG is quantifiable and it is time bound. So as an individual, you can also set a BHAG even if you're not a business. So how can you do that? You can just say, in the next 2 years, I want to be, or in the next 1 year, I want to be done with my training. I want to intend with a company, a software company, and I want to be or have a brand in XYZ. You understand? So I want to start an internship to learn XYZ. I want to be done with that, and I want to work with an XYZ company in the next 2 years. So that is you setting a BHAG for yourself. And since you're setting a BHAG for yourself, and I want to intend with an XYZ company once I'm done learning the XYZ, and I want to work with a company, an XYZ company, an XYZ company, where I'll be making XYZ as my salary in 2 years. You understand? In 2 years. So this is an individual setting a BHAG for yourself. So apart from you actually learning, maybe you're done learning, you want to get to a certain level or degree now, or get to a certain level, yes, in your career. So you can be like, I want in the next 2 years, I want, okay, for example, you just finished up with school, you're graduate, you just graduated, you have your HND, and you want to have a BHAG for yourself. You can be like, in the next 3 stars, and I want to be working with XYZ company. That is a BHAG for yourself. You as an individual, that is a BHAG for yourself, right? So that is it. So anybody can actually set a BHAG, whether you're in business and whether you're an individual. A BHAG actually keeps you in check. So that is why I want to talk about this. So this affects everybody. So whether you're a business person, a BHAG actually keeps you in check. It makes you, and it's time bound. You already know what you want to achieve and how or when you want to achieve it. So that's a BHAG for you. Now I've talked about BHAG, how you can be affected both as a business person or as an individual. Now I want to talk about the primary things or the general definition of what a BHAG is. So I want you to take notes. A BHAG focused on one thing, a single defining goal. That is what a BHAG does. So it's one thing you want to do. So you don't want, a BHAG is not something like, what example should I use? I want to learn shoemaking in 6 months, then I'll learn hairdressing, how to be a hairdresser in 4 months. I'll learn how to be a software developer in 6 months. Then you're learning 3 different things in a time band. That is not a BHAG. So a BHAG focuses on one thing, a single defining idea. Remember the word I used, a single defining idea. That's what a BHAG focuses on, a single defining idea. That is number one thing you should know about. Okay, this is just like the characteristics of a BHAG. So it focuses on one single thing. It should be short time. It should be a short time goal. So it's not like, remember we said a BHAG and a vision statement looks alike, but the difference between the both of them is that for a BHAG, it is time bound. Remember, that's what I said in the definition. For a BHAG, it is time bound, while for a mission statement, it drives you all through the process of that particular thing you are doing. So if you're a software developer, your vision drives you throughout your career path or your life as a software developer. That is what a BHAG, that's what a vision statement does. But unlike a vision statement, a BHAG is time bound. So there's a time bound or time limit attached to a BHAG. So it doesn't drive you. That's actually the primary difference between a BHAG and a mission statement. So it is time bound and it is a short time goal. It shouldn't exceed 10 years. So no matter how long or how much you want to do or cover, make sure that your BHAG shouldn't exceed 10 years. So it should be from 3 to 10 years or 5 to 10 years. It shouldn't exceed that. My BHAG for FemCode Africa is that I want to train 1,000 females, 1,000 females with digital skills and get them employed in the next 2 to 3 years. That is my BHAG for FemCode Africa. Then my BHAG, my personal BHAG, yes, apart from being a brand, I'm also an individual, right? My personal BHAG is that I want to have an authority or be an authority in software development, right? And yeah, every other thing, so that's it. I just don't want to talk about that. It's a little bit personal. That is my BHAG. But the BHAG of FemCode Africa, like I said, is that I want to train, we at FemCode Africa want to train 1,000 females in the next 3 years and get them employed. Train them with digital skills and get them employed. And these 1,000 females and get them employed in the next 2 years. So that's the BHAG of FemCode Africa. So if you notice in this BHAG, I added a time to it. It is time bound, right? Which checks that box. It is quantifiable. I actually added a number of what I want to achieve in the next 3 years, right? So that's a BHAG for you. So as much as you want to set your BHAG as an individual of whatever thing you want to achieve in a set amount of time, try as much as not let it, once it exceeds 10 years, idea. Then the second one is that it should be time and time bound, right? It shouldn't exceed 10 years. It shouldn't exceed 10 years. It's something that should carry you throughout these years to achieve. Now, another important thing about the BHAG is that it should be aspirational. It should take you beyond, like, it should be able to stress you, take you out of your comfort zone, and make you do things differently to achieve it. So if you say that you want to, for example, I said I want to train 1,000 females, African females, or 1,000 young African females in the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and get them employed. If you're in the software space, you should know that actually getting a job as a software developer is very difficult, especially when you are a junior or someone who is actually starting up in tech. Is very difficult, right? But now I am saying I'm going to train 1,000 females in the next 2 to 3 years and get these 1,000 persons employed. And from this BHAG, you should know that my seat should be very uncomfortable for me, right? Because I should be up and running. I should start meeting up with tech companies, reaching out to persons, trying as much as possible, getting up grants to make sure I can train these 1,000 persons and do a whole lot of things to make sure that I get to that BHAG, right? So it is going to stretch me, it's going to be aspirational, and it's going to obsess me because from now to the next 3 years, this is what I'm going to be obsessed about. How I'm going to train these 1,000 persons and how I'm going to get them employed in the next 3 years. That is the BHAG, right? If it's a personal BHAG, so like I said, I use an example of someone who is done with school or I want to do her masters and work with an XYZ company in the next 3 years. That means that I should start looking for, if I'm not financially stable to actually go for my masters, I should actually start now to start making out or start working around it to get the money for my masters, right? I start applying for companies, for schools that I can do my masters in. Once I get admitted, I get to start take my studies seriously, make sure I come up with a good grade for it to be possible for me to work in that area that I want to work in, right? So this is a BHAG for you. It makes you up and it gets you on your toes, like it gets you up and doing, you get to make sure that you try as much as possible to get to that set goal in that amount of time. That is a BHAG for you. And that is why I really love this topic. I started up my business school, which I graduated February last year. So this is it, right? This is a BHAG for you. So these are some of the characteristics of a BHAG. And another thing, sorry, I forgot, it should be emotional. Because anything that don't get to sync with you emotionally, you get to snipe out very fast from your mind. So anything that gets to you emotionally, it gets to stay. That is why people that make adverts or people that run ads, you try as much as possible to capture your emotional feelings, because once it does, it prompts you to do something. So if I'm actually selling a product that helps me keep my house out of keep mines out of my house, so the advice should actually go like this: have you been disturbed? Have you been every time mobbing your house because of the unpleasant odor that comes up when you live with or have a rat or mice in your house? Do you always feel scared, forgetting to keep or to properly keep a food item because you know by the next day, which is the next morning, it has been damaged by a rat? So you see, there's something that you actually relate with. Be like, and actually when something well, and because maybe you're too tired to go to the kitchen to keep something well and you forgot, and you go to bed and you wake up the next morning, you find out that rat has destroyed it and you have to waste it. That is your money going to waste, right? This is you getting, this is that ad getting your emotional being. and it will now compel you to do something about that particular problem. So that is a BHAG for you. So as much as possible, I'll go over it again. Let your BHAG focus on one thing. Let it not exceed 10 years. The time bound attached to it should not exceed 10 years. It should be aspirational. It should keep you up and running. It should keep you on your toes. Should make you uncomfortable and want to do more to get to achieve that particular goal. And it should get to be emotionally compelling. You remember the definition of our BHAG? We said it's something that when you tell someone, it engages them to get to know more about what you're doing. Remember the example we used for a BHAG? I want to myself. We used an example that I own a printing press, and I want to get to be known or have a ground in 7 countries in Africa in the next 5 years. And for a business person, we already know that the first 2 years of a business life is already is shaky, because you get to do a whole lot of things. It's kind of people with a try and error set or period or sections. So, but this time you said in the next 7 years you're going to in the next 5 years you're going to have your brand in 7 African countries. Wow, people would like to know. So this is you getting people emotionally and also getting yourself to emotionally, because you know it's going to actually keep you on your toes to get to do things, get to make sure you do things in the right way, right? So that you can get to that particular point. So this is things or all you should know about BHAG. Now, how can you as a person, as a business, anybody that's actually listening to, because if you actually started up from the beginning when I went live, I told you that this session is going to be for everybody, both business persons and non-business persons, right? So now, how can you create your BHAG as an individual, or as a business? There are 3 things or 3 ways you can create your BHAG. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to get to talk about them one after the other. So the first one is set. Now, in the set level or process, all you need to do is to define the measure of success that you really need to achieve in that said time you're working with. So is it that you want to get 1,000 persons together in your community, or is it that you want 20,000 persons to kind of know your product and use your product? Or do you want to start working with a company? That is the set. You have to set that BHAG, like set your BHAG, make it, define it, let it be properly defined, let it be quantitative and also time bound. That is the process where you get to set your BHAG. Remember how you can create your own BHAG. So the first step is to set your BHAG, define the measures of your, when do you want to do it and how do you want to do it. Though BHAG doesn't talk about the how, but what are those things you want to do and when do you want to do it? That is in the set option. The second one is to check. Now, in the check aspect, I want you to bear these 5 things in mind. So to make sure that your BHAG meets or you can say that you've checked your BHAG, there are 5 things you should bear in mind. The first one is that your BHAG should focus on a defining idea, right? It should be time bound and not more than 10 years, right? It should be aspirational. It should stretch you and force you to leave your comfort zone and do things differently, right? It should be measurable and realistic, and your BHAG should be emotional. These are the right. So these are the things that should be in your set option. So when you're done setting and you're checking your BHAG, so these are the things that you should consider while checking your BHAG. So these are the 5 things you should consider while checking your BHAG. Then the next step is to commit. Now, in the commit phase, you need to focus your time to meet them. Remember, you've set this BHAG, right? So after setting it, you check your BHAG to make sure that it matches these 5 stuff I just listed out. Then the next one is to do what? To commit your BHAG. So when in the process or in the stage of committing, you focus your time to meet this you've actually said, just like the first example I used of when I was starting, that this particular XYZ company, more popularly known in 7 African countries in the next 5 years. So this company has check, has commit section, or in the commit and so these are the three things you should bear in mind while creating your these are the three things you should bear in mind while creating your BHAG: the set, the check, and the commit. So with these three things, you can successfully create your BHAG. And there's one important thing I always encourage persons when setting your BHAG. So once you're done setting, checking, and committing your BHAG, tell 5%, at least 5%. Talk to at least 5% about them. So if you have this dream to be a ballet dancer, right? So in the next 5 years, so you have to go through the school and so on and so forth, right? So what you just talk to somebody, in the next 5 years, I want to be a ballet dancer. One be like, wow, really? The next, okay, actually 5 years is actually very long, so it won't actually get people emotional, engage people. So you might be like, in the next 1 year, I want to be a ballet dancer. The truth is that if I should tell my best friends that in the next in the next 1 year, I want all my close friends, people that know me very well, that I want to be a ballet dancer in the next 1 year. I'm very, very sure they would laugh their ass out. Sorry, they will laugh at that because they know that, first of all, I'm a terrible dancer. I'm a very terrible dancer. Then imagine being next 1 year when I can't actually even dance properly to the normal single dance step that everybody can dance to. All the dance step I'm very terrible. The only one I'm good at is sitting on my chair, and you should have noticed the sections I sit there. So I want to be a ballet dancer in the next 1 year. It's actually very shocking, right? And people will be like, Alpha, how you want to do it? How are you going to do it? Because I know you're a very terrible dancer. So how are you going to do it? So that's a big hack for you. You can actually, your big hack can actually be that you want to work with Google in the next 3 years. Hello? Someone tech. You've not even gotten to know the basics of tech. You're just trying to, maybe just got internship like last 2 weeks, and you're telling somebody that in the next 3 years, I want to work with Google. So Google is not anyhow tech company. It's like a mind-blowing tech company. It has been my crush tech company anyways. So and I tell somebody I want to work with Google in the next 3 years, or let it be that in this example that I'm a newbie, I don't know anything about tech, but I'm telling you the next, or Facebook or Microsoft. But some people like, I don't understand, like, wow, how are you going to do that? That is a big hack for you. So when you tell 5%, the least 5% about your big hack, it keeps you in check. It keeps you in check. So I always suggest that the 5% you should tell about your big hack, one is your crush. We all know this, that we don't want to look stupid in the front of our crush, right? So that person you're crushing on, that lady, I'm crushing on a lady anyways. But crushing is not actually means that it's a bad thing, right? So there's this lady that you love the way she does, she's your role model, right? You walk up to her and be like, tell her you'll be her. Or that I want to work with Google in the next 3 years. So since this is your crush, that you want to work with Google in the next 3 years, and yeah, it's your crush, right? You don't want to look stupid in front of your crush, right? So you try as much as possible to make sure that you get to work with Google in the next 3 years. Then the next one I want you to talk to about your BHAG is your friends. For me, I have two amazing best friends, right? So I talk to them about my BHAG. So this is my BHAG. This is what I want to do for Femme Code Africa in the next 3 years. I want to train 1,000 females and get them employed in the next 3 years. I talk to my best friends about that. they are keeping me in check, right? So okay, I'm coming to the part why it is possible or it is needed that you talk to persons, at least 5 persons about your BHAG. You talk to your, if you have parents that understand your vision and mission, whether your business or your personal life, you can talk to them about it. Talk to your classmates, the persons that are on the same field that is trying to achieve. Talk to them. It becomes, they become your healthy competitors, because they are doing the same thing with you, right? So since you already tell them that you want to work with Google in the next 3 years, they'll be like, for you to work with Google, you have to be very good back. They'll try to be good, and as they're trying to be good, you'll be trying to be good with them too, and so that both of you can, so that you guys can be on the same line, right? So that is healthy competition. And then the next one is you talk to someone that is higher than you, someone that is there, that place you want to be. You want to talk to them about it. So when you talk to these 5 amazing persons about your BHAG, what is the psychological effect it has on you? It keeps you on check. It keeps you, they become like your accountable partners. Like they get you accountable. So why it always is encourageable that you tell, or encouraging, sorry, that you tell 5 persons about your BHAG is that it's easy for you to manipulate one person, wash their head, and tell them, sorry, it didn't work out. So XYZ happened, and this happened, and this happened. I wasn't able to achieve it again. It's easier to wash 2 persons' head and tell them that this is the reason why it didn't happen. But to convince 5 persons that you failed is difficult. So once you tell 5 persons more about your BHAG, it holds you, or they become your accountability partner. They hold you accountable to your words, and you try as much as possible. If you follow this routine of the persons that actually should talk about your BHAG to, it makes you up on your toes to make sure that you get to that point where you meet your BHAG. So business the most time, give your business the most time to get to achieve that goal. To make sure your BHAG. If your BHAG, if you, after creating your BHAG, please try as much as possible to divide them. See, my network is, what do I mean by dividing them? So this is my goal, right, of training 1,000 females in the next 3 years, 2 to 3 years, with digital skills and getting them employed. Now, for me, I broke this down for FemCode Africa. So that you can have milestones that you can celebrate on your journey to get to that point. For example, let's take the example of this company, this XYZ company that wants, right? So this, let's say that this country is starting off from Nigeria, and they want to kind of be known in 7. Oh, my network is very, very terrible. So their time bound is, or time, but yeah, the time bound is 5 years, right? And they want to get, for you to actually get to be successful and create or get to your BHAG, I will encourage that you break it down. So for this company that wants to get to 7 African countries in 5 years, they're already starting off from Nigeria, right? And Nigeria has 36 states, so they have to be popularly known in these 36 states for them to, or at most 30 to 20 states, for them to say, probably say that they've conquered Nigeria before they move to another country. So I can see they can combine Nigeria and one other country in 1 year. So they can say in 1 year we want to be properly known in Nigeria and what's it called, and Tanzania. So Nigeria has 36 states, Tanzania has 20 regions. So that is making it 56 state or region they have to cover, right? So every effort they keep making in this 1 year, which is 12 months, they make sure they target these 56 states or region to make sure that they become popularly known. So once they have gotten their stone, if at most, if they can cover 30 states from these two countries, they can probably say that, yes, I am popularly known in these two countries. So they try as much as possible in this 1 year to get to that, right? So that is it. So once they have gotten to that, they celebrate their win. You see them put on flyers and banners and be like, we've gotten to 30 countries in Nigeria and Tanzania. That is the first step. Then remember, they said that they want to get in 7 countries in 5 years. So there's 1 year off from their 5 years, left with 4 years, and they have how many countries now? They have 5 countries left with 5 years. So they can share it. Each year has one country, each year one country, each year one country, each year one country. So they get to cover that 5 remaining countries in 5 years. So as they're doing their normal 2 years, two countries they have covered plus an existing one. So they keep crossing and they keep going. Before you know it, in the next 5 years, want to be. So I encourage you, if you're setting your BHAG, try as much as possible to break it down for you to get to break it down to months. So if your BHAG is a 1 year BHAG, you want to get to be done with your masters in the next 1 year. So money ready, if you don't have money already, if your masters, you get your money ready, you get to apply, you get to take your exams, finish your masters, and yeah, get to work with the XYZ company. So you can be like, from the next 3 months, I'm going to hustle to get the money for my masters. Then after 3 months, so after the 3 months, you can now, in that 3 months, you be like, okay, in these 3 months, I'll be saving 1,000 naira every day for me to get my tuition fee ready for for me to apply in the tech company I want to work for, right? So after the reach that, so in these 3 months, you know that how much you should be contributing each day or saving up each day. So once you do that, in the next 3 months, right? Then the next one you go over to what? To looking for a school and registering for your masters, right? Take your exams and pay your tuition fee and start your classes. So normally, I think mastership is not, so it doesn't take more than 2 years. So the next 1 year or so, you're trying as much as possible to be a good student, take your exams, read your books, take your courses and classes seriously, and get to be done with school, right? Then the next thing you do is to get to know what you need to do to be employed by this XYZ company that you want to work with. So for after the 3 months, once you're done with saving up for the money, you see, you'll be happy that you've saved up. So I've saved up for the next 3 months. Wow, you've reached this milestone. Then you know that this is the next milestone you have to reach. Then you work towards it. But is to do what? Get your masters and work with this tech company or this XYZ company in the next 3 years, right? So that's the BHAG. But you've broken it down in different sections that can help you get to that set BHAG. So that is what I always encourage whenever you set a BHAG, to break each time you kind of get successful in this so you have milestones you can actually celebrate and be happy about. That is the reason why I encourage persons to break down their BHAG. So wow, we've actually taken 43 minutes and 45 seconds to talk about BHAG. So I hope you understand all I've just said. So what is the key takeaway point I want everybody listening to this section to go home with? Your big, hairy, audacious goal, which is your BHAG, is a single measurable objective that should communicate a real energy, keep you and yourself focused and aspiring towards a wonderful future. That's what I want you to take home. Don't forget these 5 points, that your BHAG should focus on one unifying idea. Your BHAG should be time bound and not more than 10 years for a business, and yeah, up to 5 years for an individual. Your BHAG should be aspirational, it should stretch you, and it should force you to do things differently and leave your comfort zone. And your BHAG should be measurable. Please, as much as possible, don't go and exaggerate. Even my BHAG for Fencode Africa is that in the next 3 years, I want to train 1,000 females with digital skills, 1,000 African females with digital skill, and get them employed to help eradicate unemployment that is mostly found in young African youth, female youth in, yeah, young African females, right? So this is my BHAG. It's immeasurable. It's the statistics are there. So you know that in the next 3 years, train 1,000 females and help them get employed. Include numbers, very important, so you can hit on it. So once you include numbers, just like this company that says, I want to be well known in 7 African countries in the next 5 years. So this company was specific. So let your BHAG be specific, include numbers so that you can hit on that number as your milestone. And don't forget, very important, your BHAG should be emotional. Yeah, because emotional feeling actually gets you to do stuff, right? That is, like I said, the art person, they always target you, your emotional yeah, your emotional self whenever they're putting out ad, because that's actually what compels you to do what you do, to buy a product, to do stuff, or to enroll in any training. That emotional self, yourself, they've gotten what makes you make that move, right? So this is a whole lot. We've actually talked about a whole lot for yeah, for the past 46 hours we'll be talking about BHAG, and this is all I want you to know about BHAG. Yeah, so I think I've gotten this off my chest because after the last week section, I thought I omitted this part, and yeah, this is us talking about it. So don't forget this. So if you have a question of something I said, you don't really understand, please don't forget. The rule is that you have to ask your question in the comment section under this particular video. I go through my YouTube channel every 2 to 3 days to get to find out if there's any message there from anybody that has gone through the videos and wants to get more clarified. So if you have a question from this section, please comment it on, yeah, the question under this video, comment it there. I will have to reply you as I am there, like replying your comments actually in the comment section. So that is it. So this Friday, we are going to have a section, the proper Shula table talk. Have someone on the table that is going to help us trash an important topic. So this time around, yeah, it's business time. It's business time. So we're still on business time. The next, after this Saturday, the next section is going to be all about tech. So tech is going to be staying for a while. So when we talk about business, right? So this Saturday, you're going to talk about business registration. Are you a business or you want to start one? So do you own a business? That's actually very, are you a business? Okay. Do you own a business or do you want to start one? This Saturday, it's for you because you're going to know all you need to know about business registration, the different types of business registrations we have, and all you need to know about business registration. Very, very important, because there are things you don't know, you think that you might be running away from, that will catch you in the future as a business. So what are the things you need to know about registration? The things you need to know on how to set up your businesses properly to be, and governmentally, but that's not the word, but I was just cracking a joke anyway. Presentable by law, so that you won't be caught up by law later on in the future. So this Saturday we're going to have a business registration expert on the table this Saturday that is going to help us talk about all we need to know about our business registration. As usual, nerd. I should be back now. Okay, yeah, I'm back. So sorry. I went off. My network was terrible. Like my network is actually terrible. Excel has been today. My apologies. Okay, so if what was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? Well, if you're yet to YouTube channel, I'm taking my time to say it. Like you're watching this video, please like this video. Comment on the section if you have a question or how you feel it, talk about more on the topic. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to click the notification bell because it's going to help you get notified whenever we go live. So this topic we're going to talk about this Saturday is a topic that actually disturbs a lot of persons. They don't know things you should do, how you should register, and things you should get to know about your business registration, the legal aspect of your business. Yeah, the legal aspect of your business. Okay, this is how actually the lawyers they keep their glasses. So the legal aspect of the business. So if you want to know the legal aspect of your business, this Saturday is the right time to get to know. So like this video, subscribe to this channel, and click the notification bell. So whenever we go live, you get notified about the section. So yeah, I'm excited. Are you excited? So this is the time that we have our dance, right? Yeah. Very funny. Okay, so yeah, so that's the end of today's section, and thank you very much for being online to give me the moral support to go through this. And if you're just watching this section, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. So bye, and have a wonderful evening from Shulammite John. Take care.